I'm going to teach you how to make a cat today. As you know, a cat is a very popular toy or handicraft in China. Its production and release has a very long history. And according to the historical records, in the spring and autumn period, a person named Gong Shuban has transported Bumble for the magpie, which can fly no less than 3 days in the sky. And since the Song Dynasty, it has been a very popular toy for the public. And as I know, there are many Confucius constitutions in America also like to hold some cat festivals and competitions for flying cats. So it would be very interesting to make your own cat, and the processes to make a cat is very simple, and we can collect our materials just from daily life. And the materials we are going to use, first one is for our skeleton. We'd like to use Bumble. China's cat skeleton usually produces with a variety of bamboo-based supplemented by red, sorghum, and so on. Modern cat making can be also use wood or fiberglasses or light metals as its skeleton, but we see we are going to use the most convenient and the most effective skeleton for our cat. So we are going to talk about how to select bamboo here. And the reason why we use bamboo is because it was categorized by light, fiber, straight, and dense. So it can have certain degree of strength, toughness, and flexibility. So we can process it and split it for specific requirements easily. And when we are selecting bumbles, at first we need to look from the up to the downside at an adult bumble, and we will not use the root section, and we just use the middle length section with the most least change on thickness can be selected. And we are going to cut across the bumble, and when we are cutting it, you can see it will divide into three parts. The outermost is the bumble skin, and the intradermal fibrous tissue will be the middle part, and there will also be a loose part. And we need to cut the loose part to make sure our bumble will not easily to be deformed. And the third step for selecting a bumble should be we need to pay attention to its degree of dehydration. It cannot be have too much water, which means newly cut bumble cannot be used for our skeleton. It needs to be dried for a few days, and then it cannot be too dehydrated, and it can also be shaped easily. And but once it has been shaped, it should not be too easily to be deformed. Another materials we are going to use is a paper and suture, and which means lines, and tab or knife. And let's begin to talk about the process. At first, we need a paper, just like this, and you need to fold it half and half, and you just draw a pattern as you pattern like a whatever a butterfly or something like whatever you like, and just cut it. Then you will need to tie the skeleton with lines here and at the top and the bottom, and the skeleton should be like across roads, and the line should be tied to here and here. You can make it just at the middle of some place of the line, you can tie the foot line, which means this line can be adjusted the distance, how far away you want your sky fly away. And there are some little secrets or principles to make sure your kite can fly. The first one is symmetry, and no matter what patterns or picture you'd like to choose, both sides of the kite should be symmetrical, which means no matter the shape or the weight or the hardness or the tension on both sides should be consistent. And the second secret is the light body, which means the lighter the kite is, the easier we can make it fly. And so just end the premise is there will be no side effect for our structure. We should use less bamboo as possible, as little as possible, and the painting pigments should also be as light and transparent as possible. And the third principle is the exhaust duct. This is kind of structure just on the two sides of the kite, which can let the wind flow through it, so it can generate the power to lift the kite up in the air. And the final principle is the foot line, which means we need to the foot line is and the adjust line. You can see these are our two lines, and this is our adjustable lines. There should be an angle, and the former one should be longer than the later one, and which means the angle is the best angle should be between 85 degree and 100 degree this angle. And of course, the further adjustment will be needed in our test flight. Now, when you can keep all those little secrets in your mind during the making process, I'm sure your kite can fly now. And thank you for watching.